Hi, everybody. Welcome to today's series. This is the first day of our series for UiPath Community Business Analyst Associate for 2024. So we're excited you're here. We have a big team that's supporting this effort. And I'm Diana Gray. I'm the Community Marketing Manager for UiPath Americas. Also with us today, we have Manjula and Rivathi. They're from the Next Innings. And then our team here at UiPath also includes Andrea, Christina, Anna Maria, and Aurora. So through the next 5, 6 sessions, we will be switching and different people will be speaking. But just wanted you to be aware that we're all supporting this in the background. And some people will be interacting with the chat efforts. So the other people that you'll be hearing from are all the speakers that we have. So we have Anurag, who will be talking today, as well as Atul. Mukesh is on the call. He'll be talking for a session later in the series, as well as Tracy. We have Devyani, Courtney, Chris, and Nina. So you'll be becoming familiar with all these speakers as they introduce themselves during the sessions that they'll be giving. So let's just get going with what the first 5 sessions look like. Today is December 2nd, the first session. We're doing going to be talking about mainly the methodology and the fundamentals of the platform. And then we'll have a session on Wednesday. And then the following week, we'll have a session on the 9th and 11th, the same Monday and Wednesday. And then finally, we'll end this series on the December 16th. But we will have one more session in January that you can join if you would like to. And the other thing I wanted to let you know is that we have various links that we will be putting into chat. So we have the series page. The series page has all the information that you need. It's how you can register for each new event. It also will talk to you about what we're doing with certification. It'll provide you with the recordings after we've gone through each session. You can find those the following day. I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about self-paced training lessons that you need to do along with this program. And then let me just stop for a second and talk to you about certification. We are not providing any vouchers for taking the Business Analyst Associate series. There's 2 things you can do. One is you can take certification on your own for up to 3 months following this program. If you do not pass, you send me a notice that you did not complete it, it did not pass, I will send you a certification retake voucher. So that information will also be on the series page. I just want everybody to know that that's how we're doing this program. The only way you can get a free certification voucher is if you complete all 5 of the sessions. We are going to have a Business Analyst Associate contest that you can participate. And during that, we will give away 5 free certification vouchers. And then I just want to make sure too that I announce that the Next Innings career session will be on January 16th. The Next Innings is our partners. As I spoke, Manjula and Rivathi are from the Next Innings. So you'll hear more about them in the 5th session and then following in January. So we will also just add again all these important links. I just want to call out to another link that we will be adding, which is the forum page. So if you're on this series, we will have people answering the chat, but the forum page is where you go when you're trying to do something and you don't have an answer to it. Go there, ask your question, and somebody will respond. We can't get through all of the questions in chat during each of these sessions. We have quite a few people on the calls. So please just make sure you know where this email is and that you go to this link and ask your questions there. And then I just want to cover just quickly how this works. So we have the topics that Atul and Anurag will be covering today. Here's some important links right in your description. So here it talks about the learning path, where you can find that exactly what we're covering, where you can find your self-paced training, this Business Analyst Associate series page is what I talked about, where you can register for each session and find each recording. And then the forum is where you ask any questions that you have. What we expect you to do is on the bottom of every single description. So this says, please see below for the week 1 mandatory training assignments. You need to take these 3 things on week 1. So you're going to be taking today's session, which is Monday. You'll be doing the session on Wednesday. And then by the end of the week, we hope that you will have completed the Introduction to Automation, this course, the Introduction to UiPath Business Automation Platform for Business Analysts, and the Implementation Methodology Fundamentals. So all those 3 courses, and by the end of this week, and then we'll work on courses for the next week that we'll go through as well. So with that, I think I'm done with what I wanted to discuss today. We again welcome you, and I'm going to turn over I'm going to be turning this over then, I think, to Atul.
Thank you so much, Jana. Let me start sharing. And can you please confirm when you start seeing my screen?
Okay. I can see it, Atul.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Shaina, once again. Hello, everyone. My name is Atul Trikha. I'm the Chief Technologist at Peloton, a 3-time UiPath MVP, and the Ohio chapter leader. It's my privilege to join my esteemed fellow speaker in welcoming such a diverse global audience to the Business Analyst series. I'm honored to kick off this series with the introduction to the automation and set the stage for the discussion ahead. But before I begin, I'd like to acknowledge the spirit of Thanksgiving we celebrated just a few days ago, a time for gratitude and togetherness. That's the spirit of collaboration and shared purpose is at the heart of this series as we learn and grow together. Business analyst. The role of a business analyst is the cornerstone of project success. You are the architect of clarity, bridge the gap between business needs and technical execution. Without you, even the most advanced tools and strategy can miss the mark. But before we explore your journey of the business analyst in the automation, let's step back and understand automation. And that is what the agenda for the session that I'm going to cover today, introduction to the automation. What I'm going to cover, I'll start with what is automation, how can automation help you, how do you team up with the robots, how can automation fit into your business, and how do you identify automation opportunities. So these are the few things I'm going to discuss. And at the end of this session, you will be able to describe what are the automation fundamentals are, including different automation models, how you can share those benefits with your colleagues across departments, and what are the collaborative scenarios between humans and robots that are for the enterprises. And then we'll also discuss a little bit of the roles that support the automation journey. So that is the goal. By the end of the session, you should be able to do these two at a high level. So what is automation? Now, can you all just for a minute think about the different processes on your day-to-day activities which you do that you have automated? Anything. For example, few hints are your automatic bill payment, right? You can set up your automatic payments for recurring bills so that you don't need to pay late fees, right? I mean, these are something that which we have to do on month-to-month basis, but with the automation, you can set those up. Your smart home routines, right? For example, at a given time, you want to turn on your lights on, off, your thermostat change to different temperature. Those are all smart home routines that we touch the automation on day-to-day basis. And same way the security surveillance, right? So these are a few examples that we deal with on our day-to-day basis when it comes to automation. So a very simple example about automation. We used to wash clothes by hand, right? A repetitive work that we used to do maybe daily or after 2 3 days or weekly, a tedious and tiring task, but it was on day-to-day basis. We used to wash our clothes. And with automation now, right, when the washing machines uh, took over, they have simplified that process with just a button, right, providing you more time for your family, your hobbies, and other activities. So we can parallel washing machine example with the automation ability that improves our quality and our lives. It eliminates repetitive tasks, freeing us to focus on essential work and more productive lives. So that is what a very basic example of a washing machine that you can parallel think about automation. That is what automation is. Now, automation in its essence, what exactly it is? It involves leveraging technology, software, or any machine to carry out tasks that would typically require human efforts, right? Like washing machine example, we used to wash clothes by hands, but with the machine now, it automates things. So similar way, automation is just leveraging a technology, a software, or a machine to carry out tasks that eliminates the required for a human efforts, right? The beauty of automation lies in its ability to minimize or eliminate the need for constant human intervention, allowing process to run smoothly and efficiently, right? That is what automation is. It helps you, it eases your work, it makes things more smooth and more efficient. So that is what automation is, and that is what our stage before we go into the business analyst. If we all understand automation is, that's how you can think about becoming a business analyst for automation. Now, why automation is such a game changer? Why we are talking about automation? Because automation revolutionized the way business and individual operates. It leads to increased efficiency and improved accuracy by reducing errors and streamlining process, right? For example, same example I'll use throughout washing machine, right? When you used to wash your clothes, maybe you have missed one spot here and there, or maybe it takes some more time. But with the automation now, you are repetitively doing that work with the help of machinery with absolute consistency and reducing your effort, right? So same way, that's how the automation is working, and that is why it is a game changer. Now automation allows organization to cut cost, enhance scalability, and operates 24 by 7. By automating repetitive tasks, employee can focus on more strategies and creative work, right? You don't need to now sit in front of washing, like to wash your clothes, right? You just switch on the button and then you can do other works. Same way, automation also, when you implement automation, it gives you, it's not taking your job. It's all about how we can make you do things which requires more creativity, right? And that is where it is important to understand automation is not there to take your jobs. Automation is there to help you. It is there to let you work on more creative things where you can more strategize and lead to a higher job satisfaction, right? So before I start, let me see if I can play this video. This is a very important video that uncovers how the origin of automation starts. So I need Diana, can you please confirm if this video has you're able to hear the audio? I'll try to play, otherwise I'll skip this one.
Yes.
Are you able to hear that?
No. Mukesh, are you there?
No, we are not able to hear
Okay,
Atul.
okay, that's fine. But the main idea behind this story of work was basically we used to work, but then we thought that okay, these are becoming like, I mean, how we can increase efficiency. The idea here is people consistently improving their productivity using various tools and gadgets, right? However, to be honest, work can still become tedious at times. So with robots, we find ourselves at a remarkable crossroads in the history of work. Robots eliminate repetitive tasks, increase efficiency more than anything, allowing people to focus on important stuff. That is what the gist of this video was. But again, I'll share the link at the end of it. It's a very good video to start looking at where we started with, right? I mean, we just want to increase the work. Is that the goal? Because as a human, we love to work, but are we doing smart work, right? That is what this video was trying to say. But again, I'll share the link. That may be more helpful. Now, we are focusing on the UiPath. Again, when it comes to the automation, we know that UiPath is the leader in the automation domain, right? So just want to give a little bit of high-level overview where it begins. From the very humble beginning, as the modern marvels utilize manufacturing space exploration, robots have come long way, right? We are hearing about robots from a very, very, very early stages. With the advent of computer and technology, the need for software robots emerged, leading to the foundation of UiPath in 2005. And again, UiPath is the major player in automation industry. UiPath serves global customer across, offers a range of clients that transform the way they work. And that's where we are going to discuss in our coming session how we can leverage the UiPath platform in our business analyst journey. So the next topic, what are the different categories of automation? We are talking about automation, and I hope by this everybody understand what exactly automation is. It is just helping you by use of some technology to reduce your work and increase efficiency at a very high level, right? But there are many categories of automations. One example is the robotic process automation. Through RPA, the creation of software robots that mimic human behavior. For example, you are extracting some data from an Excel sheet and sending to your, let's say, from 3 emails, consolidating in one Excel sheet and sending an email to all your managers, right? Maybe this is the work that you are doing on repetitive basis. That is where RPA can help. So what RPA does is it mimics human actions and effortlessly engage the digital system become possibility, right? I mean, it is all mimicking human behavior. That's what at a very high level RPA is. Then the next category is the task automation. The task automation targets repetitive and mundane tasks such as data entry, data extraction, file management, document processing. By automating these routine activities, you are not only saving valuable time, resources, but you minimize the risk of error. Think about, you have to copy like millions or thousands of rows, do some formatting. How about task automation, right? That can do the same work without your intervention and with the absolutely accuracy. That is what the task automation and another category of automation is. Then our business process automation. UiPath empowers organization to automate entire business processes by seamlessly connecting multiple tasks and systems. By implementing UiPath in your department or teams can experience streamlined workflow, enhanced operation efficiency, and consistent execution of processes. That is at a very high level a business process automation is. Then there's test automation, right? I think if you have attended one of our series for the test automation, you will get a more deeper dive into that. But test automation is any application is if when you're enrolling in production, right? Now business, for a business, an application is must, right? You need to be online, right? You need to provide all your services to the customer online, right? And for that system or for that business to be successful, it is absolutely essential that we do test automation, right? And that is where UiPath test automation can help you there. And then there is AI and machine learning, a lot of like tools and components that you have already know about the UiPath platform. A lot of services are coming there that is helping in terms of AI and machine learning. And then the last thing is when you are looking about your business opportunity, how you can identify and analyze different automation opportunities. That is where your process mining and discovery can help. So these are few categories of automations that as we move along, we will discuss in more details. Now, so far what we have covered automation transforms work by using robots to tackle repetitive work and increase high value activities, right? I mean, these are more giving satisfaction. You're like, I mean, how you can reduce your work. UiPath can deploy robots that automate daily tasks, organization process, and help testing also, right? And with the help of UiPath AI capabilities and deploy large language models and image processing, right? And also we have covered at a very high level how we can use process mining tools to find automation opportunities. At a very high level, these are the few topics so far we have covered about the automation. So now let's take a deep dive into how automation can help you, or how automation can help me, right? So in the previous section, we covered automation, its different categories, but how the question now, okay, I understand what automation is, but how it is going to help me, right? When you think about, I mean, being a little selfish here, I'll say that with automation, the very first thing is the job satisfaction, right? When you are using the latest and greatest technology, the technology that is hot in the market, that automatically leads to a job satisfaction, right? By automating repetitive tasks, you're not only escape the burnout of the same kind of boredom cycle, but also gain your precious time to dedicate it on more engaging and things that you love to do. That is one thing. Skill development. With automation handling your mundane tasks, you have perfect opportunity to embrace personal growth, learn new skills, embrace higher value within your organization. So job satisfaction is one thing that can help you when you leverage automation. Your skill development, your enhanced opportunity when you deal with this latest and greatest technologies that are hot in the market, that automatically increase your opportunities when you are looking for a job change or your new pathways, right? And reduce stress. Now think about the same Excel sheet example. If I have to do the same thing every day, right? There are chances that you will be doing errors, right? So with the automation, all these few categories that can help you. Okay, how about we covered how it can help you, but how it can help your organization? Because I think most of us are here to understand. I understand I was being selfish. I understand it's helping me job, my growth opportunities. But when we are thinking about, ultimately, we are all need to be a part of organization, whether we are self-employed or we are part of some organization, right? So the end goal is how this can help my organization, right? So when it comes to automation, automation can help the organization in many different ways. It can help saving cost. Automation brings valuable benefit to by reducing the labor cost. The things that you are doing manually, repetitive basis, spending hours with the robots, now that can be reduced, right? Improved accuracy, right? The same example of thousands and thousands of row formatting, they can lead to error, but with the automation, you are improving your accuracy, your efficiency. Robots can work 24/7. Your scalability, you don't need to now hire new resources. All you need to do is add more robots that can seamlessly increase your scalability, right? And then there are resource allocation. You can let people who are more good in strategy and creative works, you can allocate your resources on those directions. So these are a couple of benefits to your organization, including saving costs, improving accuracy, increased efficiency, compliances, your scalability, and your optimized resource allocation. That is how automation can help your organization. There are many use cases when which we can talk about automation. Think about any use case as simple as payroll processing, where you're receiving invoices through emails or various automation can help you automate the end-to-end payroll processing, right from downloading your invoices from an email, extracting the data from your invoices, sending those email, entering them into your system. So there's a lot of things, a lot of use cases. I can't think about a single use case where automation cannot help. Few example are payroll, client information update, contract renewal process, financial statement reconciliation, compliances reporting, customer complaint processing. Think about one, and we can discuss whether UiPath can help you on that or not. And we will discuss a little bit in the when we are towards the closing, what are the tools that we can use in order to do that, to analyze whether a single use case fits into automation or not. Now, so we have covered what is automation. We have covered how automation can help you, and we have also covered how automation can help your organization. So we understand automate reduce the need for constant human intervention, but it doesn't leave humans out of the loops entirely. That is what we are going to cover next, because always as a human, we want to be involved, right? We want to make sure that we are in loop, that's what our basic instincts is. And we want to make sure even if robots are working with absolutely accuracy, we want to stay in the loop. And that is where the next section is, how do I team up with a robot? Now, we all like to have helping hand to handle our most tedious tasks, don't we? In this lesson, what we are going to introduce to special someone, well, more like a bunch of them, discovering how automation robots can work, how they can work with you. So that is what we are going to cover. Two categories. One, a robot is a robot, right? This is a digital worker, we can also say that. But in context, robots, that what we are talking about today are the software robots. We're not talking about physical robots. These are all software robots that we are talking about. And there are two types of them. One is the attended robots, and the second one is the unattended robots. And that is what we are going to cover. What exactly are unattended robots? Unattended robots are those that don't need anyone to operate them. Here, rundown of all the unattended robots are, these type of robots operates with minimal human intervention, executing fully automated process that involves high volume transaction. It's typically used in task-intensive backend environments. Unattended robots are deployed on dedicated workstations, servers, mainframes, or web services. Unattended robots are triggered when automation management or like, for example, orchestrator, they can be triggered, they can be scheduled. But the main thing is automation, unattended robots does not needs very minimal human intervention. They need to be deployed on separate. They can't work on your machine, because if robots will be using your machine, then you need to sit free, right? So that's why they have their own dedicated workstation servers, and they are triggered either through some other automation, through a schedule, or through an event, or by another robot. That is what an unattended robot is. And then there are attended robots. Attended robots are the one that needs a little bit of help from you. They run on your PC or your laptop, and they are kind of your ally. And what they do is they are triggered either by you or by certain events on your machine. So in contrast, if you think about the unattended robots are working by their own or with very minimal intervention, their own dedicated machines. They can be scheduled or triggered by other automation, whereas attended robots are the one that requires a little bit of your help in order to run them, to execute them, or they are triggered by some other event in your machine. They are sitting in your machine, and they are the one that are working in parallel with you. So that is the high level difference between attended and attended robots, and it's very essential to know the difference between these two as we move forward and as you become your journey for the business analyst automation. Now, there are several automation models. I'll not go into each of them. For example, a fully attended, partially attended, human in loop, attended interval, attended in tandem, and hybrid automation. These are the 6 most popular automation models that are tailored to meet broad spectrum of automation's needs. And maybe at the end, when I'll share this slide, you will get a little bit more information about each type of these models. I'll skip for now, going in more details, but these are the 6 categories that should help any kind of automation, or at least a broad spectrum of automations. So what we have learned so far, we discussed attended robots, we discussed unattended robots, how automation can help in your journey. And then we also discussed 6 type of different automation models through which you can engage your humans, right? That is what we discussed. Now, going into next, how automation can fit into my business. So what I'm going to do is, maybe like come in, let me see, do a time check. I think this is what we have already discussed a little bit of, how it's kind of related to your job satisfaction, how you can embrace your different journey, what are the different roles that automation can create in your organization, starting from business analyst, solution architect, automation developer, process mining developer. There are so many things with the automation that you can leverage, and your organization can create different roles. So this is all I have to cover for the automation. I hope you all have a little bit of understanding what exactly an automation is. And with this understanding, I will hand it over to Anurag, where he will deep dive into what exactly business analyst is. But so far, I believe with this section, at least you understand what is automation is, how it can help, different models, what are the attended and attended model, and how to work with robots as a team. Thank you from my side. Handing over to Anurag.
Thanks a lot, Atul. I'll share my screen, folks. Thank you so much, Atul. Hello, everybody. My name is Anurag Upadhyay. I am a program manager at Accenture, and I'm very delighted to be a part of this session today. This is a very, very important series, and I thank UiPath and her second innings for conducting this and enabling the community with the knowledge of automation and how the team, how the learners can become business analysts. With my experience, I'll help you with the nuances with which this RPA BA role can be taken up. What are the challenges? What are the roles and responsibilities? I'll give you some examples, the real examples which I encountered, and I hope you'll be able to relate them. So what I am aware about this entire participants list, that a lot of folks who are joining these sessions are non-technical as well, who are new to this world of automation, who are trying to switch from non-tech to tech. So I understand that we have wide variety of audience, and I'll try to help, in very simple, easy words so that even non-technical folks can also relate. And I'm thankful to Atul for setting up the stage, helping us understand what is automation, the need of automation, flavors of automation, roles in automation. So I hope with that we have a stepping stone with us, and I can then help you with the expertise and experience at my end. So I'm going to talk more about the RPA business analyst role and why this is needed, why it is the need of the hour, and why you should learn it. So before we get into understand RPA business analyst, I will try to make you understand business analyst. So who exactly is a business analyst? A business analyst is a professional who works on solving problems. First of all, identifying problems and then solving problems. Now, this person is responsible to do a lot of brainstorming, analysis, talking to a lot of people, and then trying to figure out at what exactly is the problem. And then maybe connecting to concerned product teams, vendors, to see how we can solve this problem. Can we solve it at our end? Or do we need to hire somebody to solve it? So all that sort of brainstorming requires analysis, and business analyst is that person who does this job. Now, when we add RPA business analyst, it means that the problem statement is around automation. RPA is robotic process automation. It is made up of three words: robotic, process, and automation. Automation means whatever we are doing in a boring, mundane manner, how we can do it in an automated way. Things happen automatically. There can be some sort of human intervention, right? Atul talked about it. We are not talking about eliminating humans. We're keeping them in loop. But something where we are not utilizing our brain, we are just copy pasting. It is a boring, voluminous work, which ideally should be done by a bot. That sort of work is getting automated, which allows us, the humans, to think strategically, spend time in areas where we are actually using our brain. And if we are living in 2024, we understand that automation is going to have its dominance. If we look at these stats, we'll get to understand that maybe next 3 years or 4 years, RPA automation will have universal adoption across all companies, all enterprises. Every company will have RPA running in their organization, because organizations understand that automation is the need of the hour. And now in 2024, if you're trying to understand how shall I maneuver my career, what shall I do if I am a non-tech person? Can I still get into tech? Is it possible? With UiPath, it is possible. Automation is not something which is only for the technical people. Automation includes support from both the parties, functional party and the technical party. So you will have roles where without even coding, you can be a part of this bandwagon. And then you can help contribute to build automations in your organizations. That's how UiPath has made this entire journey so simple, so easy for anybody and everybody to be a part of it. That's the message. We are getting new roles like citizen-led development, which means people who are a part of organization, who may not be technical, who are not developers, who are not coders. Can they also do something? Yes, they can. So the drag and drop technology, low code, no code, is enabling all these folks to become technical. And yes, they will be called technical. But that journey, that transition is very smooth, very gradual, and very easy. You don't have to code in black screens. You have to drag and drop. This level of automation I'm talking about, and UiPath has made it that simple. So folks, this is the time if you're thinking about switching career, making career, getting into automation. I think with support from UiPath, it is fairly simple now. So let's understand who exactly is RPA business analyst. Those of you who are developer and trying to become a business analyst, I'll cover those aspects also. Those of you who are non-technical, you don't have any knowledge about even automation, about maybe even BA, I will try to cover from that aspect also. And those of you who are already BA, how you can look into more details, more specifications with which you can make your BA journey more smooth, more robust, and with automated discovery tools like process mining, task mining, which will be covered in the later part of the series, you can have a view that how you can become a business analyst who might be doing traditional discovery can do automated discovery, how PDDs can be built automatically, right? So I'll try to cover all kind of audience. So just bear with me. In case, something is not clear, you can drop in the chat box. I'll try to answer them. And I'll make sure that, all sort of audience get to understand. So that is going to be my focus area. So let's get started, folks. So we talked about business analyst, but then we are talking about RPA business analyst. Now, RPA business analyst is characterized by process experience, analytical thinking, which forms the bridge between automation teams and the subject matter expertise of the company's domain team. We understand that automation has to happen. There is a mandate maybe by our CTO that automation should be done, or maybe we understand, maybe from LinkedIn or the knowledge around that automation is something which I can also do. But at enterprise level, if we are trying to get into automation, there is a way of working. There will be a COE, Center of Excellence team, a team which takes care of all the opportunities from the basic level discovery to maybe scaling it up to department level, automation. So a COE team will have somebody who will be nominated to talk to business. Now, when I talk about business means the folks whose work is going to get automated, right? People who are doing those jobs in a boring way. They are just dragging and dropping, few things here and there, just copy pasting few things in there. And business understand that their work has a lot of potential to automate. So a business analyst will utilize the frameworks with which the discovery will happen. The automation potential analysis will be done. A categorization will be done that out of these 20 opportunities, do I need to jump onto all of them in one go, or I can prioritize them? I can categorize them that few of them are low hanging fruit, few of them are quick wins, few of them require, some improvement before we can get done with the automation. And few of them maybe are long-term improvements, which will happen eventually when we automate maybe the easy ones, the baby ones, right? So that's how a business analyst will come into picture to scan, to do a MRI of the process, to understand where exactly is the potential of automation. So this person will become a bridge between both the parties, right? This person will play a very, very pivotal and instrumental role in RPA projects, because that person is the first person who will talk to the SMEs or process agents. So in various companies, you will find the business folks as SMEs, somebody will call them process agents, somebody will call process SMEs. So there are different ways to name them, but all of them mean the same, that they are the one who are close to their work, which is going to get automated, right? Not necessarily that it will be automated, but this person will look into their processes, get a view, and then decide that how exactly, when exactly, and why exactly we should do it, right? So business analyst is that person who is involved from the initial process assessment, right from the start to the delivery of the project, to the last stages of RP implementation. Last stages, that when you are making the bot live, when you are saying that now this process can be taken care by a bot, that stage, when humans role is, you know, diminished, or to a level that he or she is only there to maybe approve something, or maybe that process has capability of end-to-end automation and you don't need a human because it was just about maybe downloading a report from a portal. It was that boring. And I have seen with my experience, with last 4 firms, that there are certain jobs which they do on a daily basis in which they are just waiting, right? In one of my previous, projects, I saw that there was a portal, and from that portal, around 8 reports were meant to be downloaded. And that download was taking, that extraction of report from that portal was taking an hour, right? And once the extraction is done, then the team starts their work. So there could be areas where the process can get end-to-end automated. It could be end-to-end web automation. It could be end-to-end Excel automation. That depends on the kind of automation you are doing. So BA will be there right from the start to the end, so that BA gets a view, an entire view from 0 to 100. I hope this is clear, folks. Now, when I talk about RP implementation, right? Any implementation in RPA will always follow a framework with which the implementation will happen. An RPA bot is nothing but a software. Atul talked about that we are not dealing with physical robots. We are dealing with software robots. We're not dealing with hardware. We are not dealing with those, robots which are mechanical in nature. So these robots are software. And when we are talking about software development, we talk about SDLC, software development life cycle, where there is a start point, there is an end point, and there is a way of working with which everybody who is a part of that team follows that guideline protocol with which you tend to achieve a outcome towards the end. And here in an automation implementation, you kickstart a project, you do business case and technical validation, you analyze a process, then you design a solution, right? So you'll have to understand, you have kickstarted a project, you understand there is a problem statement, you understand there is a situation where automation can get in. But in order to get funding, in order to get, the real value to move forward, right? Real push from the management team, you will have to build a business case. You will have to see whether does it even make is it worthy enough to do this automation? Business case, you identify some KPIs, some parameters in which you analyze whether if this KPI is more than this threshold, then I'm going to move ahead. Then I'll get a chance to get a granular view of the process where the L2 or L3 level of analysis happens, right? You go at micro level, you go at keystroke level, you get to understand, okay, my mouse moves from tab 1 to tab 2. My mouse moves from login and then password and then submit. So these are the keys which I have to press in order to get done with a task. right? And when you combine all these tasks together, you get a process. So you will have to get done with that granular level of analysis. Then you will be able to create certain documents, and then you will be able to move forward. So this is a high level view, a general high level view of SDLC framework in which generally the softwares are made. But when we talk about RPA, the UiPath implementation way, it is following the similar set of framework. And here, if you look at uh, these points, you will find that there are certain roles which are involved at every milestone. We can call them mini milestone because towards the end we'll have a bot built at the end. But this is a stage. This is a stage. We'll have to cross these stages, and then towards the end we'll have an outcome. But at every stage we will have involvement of new set of people, different set of people. Their roles and responsibility will differ, right? An artifact will differ, an outcome will differ, and that's how we will move forward. So for example, kickoff, a project manager is involved, somebody who's responsible to drive this automation, uh, whose mandate is to understand how they can make this project successful, right? Not a process analysis successful, entire project. The project manager will be involved here, and the person will kick off, will review SOW and understand, how exactly the communication has to be set up, right? Then business case validation. So here, business analyst, can you see business analyst? This person will get involved, right? So there could be certain opportunity assessment questionnaires. There could be certain areas, around which you can get some view from the SME if you just share a template that if you can fill these detail about the process. So with that, you will get a high level view. You will get a view that how many FTEs, full-time employees are involved in this particular part of the process, right? Or this process can be broken up into two. This could be automation which is maybe without Citrix, right? So there are different nuances with which you can understand if you have to validate whether a business case is being made or not, because building a business case is important. If you're doing automation, ideally the prime benefits of automation should be fulfilled. Ideally, I have seen a lot of firms in reality that there is a mandate to do automations even if those KPIs are not met. I have been a part of those organizations where if FTE number is not even big, then also they move forward with the opportunity because they want to give a message to the audience, to the entire community in their enterprise that automation is there. It might not be giving you FTE benefits, but it is going to give you some intangible benefits, right? Which could be productivity improvement, which could be improvement in morale of the employees, right? If you are a O2C employee and you are just spending your time in doing a control F or on certain keywords, and then maybe your role is to zoom a few pictures and identify what is written over there and put it in an Excel. If you are doing that sort of work, right, an automation can help to maybe give you something more strategic, cognitive, constructive, right, where you can spend time in quality work. So there could be a possibility that even though the tangible benefits are not that worthy, even then you do automation. So automation's benefits are endless, to be honest. And one of the benefits, is sufficient enough to move forward. So that depends. That depends on your appetite, your funding, your business's, interest and motivation in spending, money in automation. So a number of, dynamics are there around business case approval. But ultimately, when you move forward, then you do a very granular deep dive analysis where BA has a very, very prominent and important role, because there we create those blueprints, there we create those documents which become the base to conduct the automation, program. Because from this point, you get a view of the process in a very, very detailed manner, right? I will not cover, things in detail for these stages, development, testing, deployment, and hypercare, because These areas are there where as a part of development team, BA plays a role, but primarily, this is where you're gonna spend more time, right? Because for development testing, solution designing, there could be a solution architect, a technical member who is managing developers, right? In reality, generally the SAs, the solution architects, they are core technical folks who are having a team of developers under them, right? And this person is a lead, and his role or her role is to ensure that whatever design they are creating for the bot, right? Whatever to be they are creating for the bot is actually making sense, is giving them right sort of output, is viable, is possible, is feasible, that whatever we are building is actually technically possible. So all that, analysis is done, then a document is built, and with that document, the developers get a view that this is how I have to code. And then the developers get involved, and using that PDD, using those documents which the BA and the SA have built. BA means business analyst, SA means solution architect. Then the developers get into development of code. And once they are done with their coding, they get into testing. Then they bring in the SMEs to get their view. If they are okay with what they have built, then they get something called UAT sign off. Now, UAT sign off is a very, very important thing, because this is where you get a green signal if your bot, which you have built, is right or wrong, right? Ideally, in local testing or during the development time, you have to ensure that you are using the right sort of coding standards. And then, but here the SME is not involved. SME comes in picture when UAT happens. The user accepts what you have built. And once they are okay what you have built, then they allow you to move to deployment, then you go into hypercare. But this is where the actual work of BA becomes important, because not getting a sign off is not an easy thing. In reality, it takes iterations, version 1 of PDD or version 1 of your bot. Then people will come and give you some feedback that you missed this, you missed that. So UAT sign off is something which is tricky. Even PDD sign off is something which is very tricky. Tricky in terms of getting all of them on the same page, right? A lot of time in reality, you will find that something gets missed. I will cover them. I will cover them in my next slide. But here from this view, I just want to make you aware that BA's role is very, very important in all stages, primarily here, but then the BA has a role to get involved in other stages as well, because BA is the one who got that view from the day one. He or she has better connects with the stakeholders. He or she can uh, maybe diplomatically work in a way where you are not getting test cases from the business, but your BA has built good contacts, right? If he gets involved, then getting a test case from the business team can become faster, right? In reality, these relations, sitting with the SMEs, doing friendship with them, all those things really, really matter, truly. And it helps being in this automation industry as a BA right from the day one. I understand that building a great connect with the SMEs helps in getting those sign off. People don't get those things if you are not building a good rapport with the SMEs. It is important that you make them aware that how automation is going to help them. You will have to bring them on your side. You'll have to make them aware that why it is important to have this automation in their team, right? Because everybody who is a part of business or a function will always think that, oh, automation, they are going to come and take our job, right? We don't have to support them. But these kind of things will be there. So you have to do some, maybe some ego massage as required, right? Make them aware that automation is not going to take your job. It is going to help you. So a lot of time you will have to act as a guide, as a, as a ambassador of automation, that automation will give you a buddy. It's not going to help you, it's not going to take away your job, it's going to help you in your job. So all these things is what you will have to play. And that is why when I talk about the roles and responsibility of a BA, I talk about working with the teams in identifying business opportunities, right? Business requirement, because this person has the prime role to do requirement gathering. This person is the one who will do requirement gathering, and this person will be involved in all those calls, all those sessions, all those workshops where he or she is going to meet a lot of business folks. Secondly, creating documents. So I talked about certain documents which are built at every stage, but primarily the business analyst will create business case, PDDs, test cases as and when required. So I know a lot of firms, and it depends and it varies company to company. In a few companies, it is the developer who create test cases. In a few companies, it is the BA who creates test cases. So, I mean, there is an ideal way and there is a real way, right? There is a reality that it keeps on changing, right? I have seen companies where PDDs is PDD is the only thing which is built by a BA, right? And then there are people who are going to build those documents. So it depends, but primarily a BA should always be aware of creating a business case, PDD, test cases, and documents maybe like an operating guide, operating manual. So because the BA will get a view of the entire process. For that person to create an operating guide is maybe an easy thing as compared to a solution architect, right? But it depends. So what I'm trying to tell you here is that it is variable. It can vary. Thirdly, automation pipeline creation. This person, since understand which all part is automatable, right? Then this person also knows that if SAP in this process one is now getting automated, this particular SAP is also being used at a different process. SAP is an enterprise ERP tool, enterprise resource planning tool. It helps these companies to basically do data entry. Those of you who are non-technical, it is an ERP tool, which is where the SMEs do data entry. That's what you can understand. It is a tool on which all the details about the business functions are kept, right? Now, if this application is being used in a different process, this person can tell, this BA can tell, oh, if you have automated, process 1, maybe 20 or 30% part of that process is similar to process 2. And if we try to automate process 2, maybe our development effort will not be that big because we can reuse what we have built, right? So it will help in creating a pipeline. That similar set of processes can be clubbed together, a reusable component can be built, and then the same can be used in the other process. The development pipeline, development timeline will get shortened. So this helps this BA person to build automation pipeline as well. So like I mentioned, planning, scheduling, this person gets a view that when the bot should be running for the team, then the person can do planning, right? That this particular team will get an email around this time, and then we can build an automation accordingly. And the other aspect of this point is related to scalability, that we can plan that from the period Jan to March, we'll automate department 1, and then when this part of this cycle is done, for example, order to cash cycle, this part is done, then we will move to a different department. So that level of view is also gained by a BA, right? And BA, helps in, compliance monitoring, risk management. So they understand that where, the process is not a happy flow, right? Happy flow means that whatever is happening in the process, it is happening without any exception. A to E is A to B, B to C, C to D, and D to E. There is no exception. But what if A to C and then to B and then to E and then to D, right? If there is a process like that, then there will be change in the process. Then there is a risk that the bot which you are trying to build may not work as it is because it didn't cater or it didn't take care of the exceptions. So there is a risk that the bot will break. There is a risk that automation will not fly. So this person gets a view and sees possibilities where the bot can fail, and then do the necessary risk assessment and management. For profitability analysis, you will have to get a view whether the business case which you have built is being met or not, right? So there is a FTE in scope, right? We plan that these many FTE will be saved, but towards the end, are we going to get the right set of ROI, right? If not, then there is a problem that whatever we estimated or whatever we planned, it was not right. So that analysis is also meant to be done by a BA. But again, this is again varying from organization to organization. In a lot of organizations, BAs are not involved in ROI analysis or profitability analysis. Now, it depends. If you are a senior BA, if you are a project manager, who has turned from a BA to a project manager, you will get involved in these things which are more business oriented. But maybe if you are starting your journey, you are a junior BA or you are a fresher as a BA, you might not be involved in profitability analysis, right? So these things keep on varying, keep on changing. But ultimately, the basic thing which you will have to do as a BA is to understand the process well. If you are able to get that job done well, I think things after that becomes easy. I hope you understand roles and responsibilities of a BA well. And yeah, and reporting to stakeholders, you'll have to keep on following a continuous documentation, communication to the stakeholders that this is how my PDD looks like. Okay, if you have any certain feedback, please let me know. You get a answer from them that you need to change this step to this step. And then, you keep on reporting to stakeholders, getting their sign off, and then moving forward. So it is very important that you understand the life cycle well and you understand your role well, so that you are able to bring a pace, bring a speed to the project. And that is how you somewhere work as a maybe as a mini project manager, whose role is to keep the project moving, because you are the engine. You get the first view and then you keep on moving from left to right? Because with that, you slowly and gradually learn the art of project management. Now, this is a very, very important point, that as a BA, you're communicating with the business, you're doing analysis, you are doing documentation. So your skills, which AI cannot take, which automation cannot take, stays relevant, right? And then becoming a person who is doing communication, taking ownership of the project, maintaining communication with the leaders, I think you eventually become, more mature as a person who can take care of the entire project, who can take care of the entire portfolio. And that is how you move in your career as a BA to senior BA. Then you become a lead, then you can become a project manager, and then you can become a delivery manager. That is a indicative career path for a BA. If you're not keen to become a coder or a solution architect, then you can follow the functional level career strategy or career path with which you can move like this. You will do process analysis here, but then you might be involved in things on profitability. Then you might be involved in managing the entire show, where a BA reports to you, a solution architect reports to you, a tester reports to you, and then you take care of the entire multiple projects, right? And then you become a delivery manager. So this particular journey is very easily possible because BA is equipped with knowledge which is required to run a project. BA can move to become a project manager more easily because they, right from the day one, get a view of the entire business teams, SME teams, ground level, connect with ground level team members, connect with COE team members, right? So the 360-degree view with which they have to build their understanding, right, can be gained from the day one. And this transition can become more easy for them if they're trying to maneuver their career into delivery management kind of roles. Quick time check. Okay. Now, this is a very, very important slide, right? We are trying to become a delivery manager towards the end of our journey as a BA, right? Because we are getting into this role. But how can we make sure that we acquire the right set of skills to become a BA? So as a BA, you should have a good understanding of industry which you are analyzing. I'm not saying you must have, I'm saying you should have. Now, I'm talking about the reality. Ideally, you should be having knowledge of that industry in which you're going to do process discovery. Industry means that domain knowledge. If you are getting into a new industry, you should be well equipped with what this entire, process is all about, what this industry do. Maybe today you are doing an analysis for a BFSI account, but tomorrow you are going to talk to a healthcare account. So it is always advisable that you gain business knowledge. But again, in reality, it is not possible for you to have that knowledge intact, or for you to getting that, knowledge immediately, because you keep on moving those domains very, very quickly. In reality, you will find that today you are working with a BFS account, tomorrow you're working with a cement industry, third day you're working on a process discovery of a e-commerce company. So my suggestion, or my recommendation here, is to understand the ways of working as a BA well, right? And then building your connects with the business SMEs well, understanding those documents well where they talk about their domain, and that learning will help you to consolidate it over the time, and then you can spend more time maybe in that particular industry, that you become an BFSI expert. You understand the entire O2C, R2R, P2P, right? You have done 8-9 projects in O2C, and now you are well versed at how this L2 will get connected to this L3, right? So it comes naturally with time, right? And for us, it can really become difficult if we try to get into learning domains, because those folks whose processes we are automating, they might be spending 5 years, 6 years in their work, right? And they might be doing it on a daily basis, and for them it is a cakewalk, right? Their fingers move fast, and you can't even think that, oh, so quick, right? I have seen such cases in my last to last organizations. I found that I met a guy who was, so well versed in his job that, the way he was running the entire process, it was very quick. He was working on that process for, I think, around 10 years, and he was working really fast. And then we asked, are you sure we want to do automation on this? So what I'm trying to say, that those folks have already gained knowledge because they are doing it day in, day out. You might not be able to do it, in the same manner, because you will always be switching between multiple domains. So, but when you are into a particular domain, try to encapsulate that knowledge. And my suggestion is to work in the same set of industry for good amount of time, so that at least one industry is clear with you. That will help you. But again, I'm not saying that it is a must-have skill to become an industry expert, but it is a good to have, and you should be having that skill set. But this one is non-negotiable communication skill. You genuinely need to have you know uh, curiosity to ask questions. You must be able to ask the right set of questions, that where things can go wrong. If you are asking questions which are helping you to deep dive, understand more about the process, it will eventually make your process mature. You will have less chances of not covering the exceptions, because in reality, I'm using the word reality a lot, but because I wanted to give you a real world view. In reality, there is nothing like happy flow. It doesn't happen. There are certain nuances which will eventually come in your process and which will differ. So you'll have to keep on asking right set of questions to them, that is this how you move forward, or do you think that there is a certain vendor with whom you have a different discount rate? I'm giving an example that you have a process in which you apply 10% discount rate for all the vendors, but there are 5-6 vendors with whom we have to give 45% discount rate because we have a different level of relationship with them, right? Then the process changed. But if you are thinking that out of 1,000, these are just 100 cases, leave it. I don't really think that's important. That is where you're going to make mistake, because you never know when this exception may come and break your bot. So it is important that you ask right set of questions, and to ask right set of questions, you have to have good communication skill. I'm not saying exceptional, but good communication skill where you are able to make them aware what you want. You can make them clearly understand that this is what you're looking for. And you can make them aware that if you don't do this, then this will happen, right? You can make them, aware about the consequences, that, sir, we are doing the process discovery now, we are taking notes now, but in case tomorrow this is not captured, then this will happen. So sometimes you will have to use those, power dynamics and, some level of manipulation, some level of, work with them, that this could be the, outcome if we don't follow this process. And you'll have to be very patient with them. A lot of time they will make you understand something, with which you might get confused. I have, got into so many discussions where at the very first call, I was confused at what exactly they are doing, right? But then you have to stick by your principles. You will have to stick to, some thumb rules, that this is how it should be. They are unnecessarily complicating the issue. They are unnecessarily doing these steps which are not required. You will have to have a think tank, while you are talking to them and giving recommendation and challenging them, asking them, are you sure that this is how you should do it? There is no harm, right, in asking questions, but your question should be good. I mean, their question should not be, those immature questions which irritate them, because I talked about building a relationship with them, right? If you are building relationship, you will have to have a mutual respect for, both the parties, so that, they're able to understand what you're trying to say. And then if there is a logical reasoning behind why they are doing it, they make you understand. But you will have to probe them. A lot of time, if they are having a feeling that, oh, this person, these automation guys are here to take our job, they will not share the right set of information with you. Maybe they will hide something with you. I have seen cases. I have been a part of few projects where, I had to do some sessions with them, town halls with the team, when we understood that they are not keen to move forward. They're somewhere having a biasness. They're somewhere having a fear that these guys are going to take our job away. But that messaging has to be right. You have to make them aware that, no, we are not here to take away your job. We are here to simplify your job, and we are going to help you make this bot your buddy so that this set of work in which you are just wasting your time and energy is taken care by the bot, right? So you'll have to make them, on your side so that it becomes more easy for you to work with them. At the start of my career, I have done mistakes where I was not able to build good relationships. At times, you will have to, keep their manager in CC and email at times, but wherever it's possible, with pings, with teams, with chats, if you are able to get done with your job, right? Things, move faster. If these people are not on your side, I have noticed that you will be eventually moving, forcefully. Maybe their CTO has given a mandate that those of you who don't support us, please report their name to us. There will be, those companies, but I will always say that try to build a relationship with them, make them understand your point, get their cooperation, get their participation, get their support. This makes things easy to move, right? So I hope you're getting a view for the challenges in reality and how to cope up with them. I talked about analytical skills, that you have to understand, which is that area where a bot is not the right thing to even put, right? There could be certain things where they are just uh, doing out of their experience or from their intelligence, right? And the bot is not able to follow that logic. So you will have to analyze that, are we talking about automation, or are we talking about just maybe a process uh, excellence exercise? We're just talking about streamlining, right? So you will have to get a view where automation is the only answer, or without even automation, this can be done. A lot of times you don't need an automation. I have seen areas, a lot of time with maybe a simple macro can do your job, or a simple, Excel formula can do your job. You don't have to overcomplicate complicate things. Wherever you feel that there is a genuine, you know, problem statement which automation can solve, I think that's how we shall move forward. Because jumping into automation is one thing, but then if we follow a prescribed way where we try to streamline first, we try to maybe standardize first, and then we jump onto automation, the overall development time also get reduced, right? We give some time to the SMEs that you do at your end, try to sort it, and then maybe now the process becomes automatable more, right? Instead of just pushing a bot to do it. So that analysis is also meant to be done. So it's not mandatory that automation is the only answer. There can be other ways with which the problem can be solved. But just because you are from automation team, that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to apply automation on that problem statement. So best solution is what we are trying to identify. So zoom in, zoom out approach is what we need to have, and best solution is what we need to identify. It's not that if we don't put automation in that process, we'll not be able to put automation in other areas. It doesn't happen. I have seen that COE team certain, have a fear that, oh, if we are giving this work to process excellence team, what will our guys will do? I mean, if you are, forcefully trying to put a bot, eventually there is a possibility that you might fail. And then, with a bad recognition, maybe you will not get another set of process, right? These things can also happen. So identify the best solution and understand what vision are we having, okay? If we don't have a vision to have FTE saving, then not necessarily that you have to go with the highest count of FTE projects. No, understand the program vision. The program vision could be to simplify the lives of the employees. This could be a vision. So understand what we are trying to solve, and that's how we shall move forward. Challenges faced by business analysts, I have talked about a few already, but I'll talk about those which I have not covered. So process analysis issue. You were trying to analyze a process, but the process was so complicated that the process involved that level of coding or that level of work, which RPA cannot solve. There is a possibility that it may come right? That instead of and you have to take a call, right? If there are so many exceptions in the process, so many nuances with which the process has to be taken care, and the after discussing with your architect, you understood that building a code for this can become super complex, and it is better that a human do it. Then it is okay to have a human do it, right? But after thorough analysis, decision making should come. You shouldn't give up on the very first few efforts, right? So you'll have to analyze that where exactly process is logic based, where it is straight through, where it is having a clear structure, right? So that analysis is what meant to be done by a BA. And if you're not thorough and through in your work, you will find process analysis issues. Business case issue, you will find that that business case is not being met. You're doing everything, the process is automatable, everything is fine, but it is not stitching to the main program vision. And there is a possibility that you might have to drop those cases. With a heavy heart, a lot of times I have dropped those cases because it was not making sense, even though we automate. But we cannot move further because SAP HANA is coming, SAP this is coming, or this application is moving from VMware to media or Citrix. So there could be things which are going to come in your enterprise as a part of vision, that after 6 months this application will go away. Then it doesn't mean that you have to do it, because if you're talking about long-term vision, right, if you're not just not talking about an outcome in just next 6 months, then you'll have to understand how the overall planning is done in our organization. So business cases issue will be there, and if required, and if it is not making sense, not stitching to your program vision, you might have to drop those things. RPA development, so there exactly you will find that whatever you are building is actually very different from what the SME is doing. You might not have built the PDD correctly. You might have missed a few steps. You might have missed a few commas. You might have missed a few Excel cells, right? Even that level of miss happened. And when it came, when then the UAT time came, there was, a clear bot failure, and then businesses which were trying to support you, the functions which were trying to support you, may have loss of confidence in you. They might say, oh, this bot doesn't work. I think this bot thing is still not, matured enough, right? And from there, things can go wrong, right? You have to be very, very thorough in understanding that whatever you have signed off from the SME, you build that. You use the latest version of PDD. You follow what the SME is looking forward from you. So the sign off plays very important role. And that's how, if your sign offs are well documented, you are building we are developing a code from a well-crafted, signed off PDD, you will not have issues, right? And fourth point, mismanagement of responsibilities. There could be areas where, the people from the business team, they don't understand what is expected from them. You have set a call with them at 4 p.m. and you didn't find an acceptance on your invite. And when you started that call, nobody joined that call because they are not very supportive of your idea, or it might be forcefully put on them. So there could be some mismanagement where people are not responsible enough about their participation, and because of lack of help from business team, you're not able to move forward, right? You're emailing them that, can you help me with the PDD sign off, right? And it has become, I mean, you have sent 5 reminders, even then you're not getting the support from business team. Then your velocity with which you wanted to develop a project or a process, is not getting, sorted. So there will be cases. Now, then you will have to see whether how you can solve this problem. You will have to escalate as required, You will have to maybe understand the ground challenges, that what are they actually facing, and is there a lack of awareness? They are not aware that how it works. Do I need to do some brainstorming thing with them? Do I need to do some maybe hand holding sessions for them, right? So that level of things may also come, and then you will might have to solve the biases issues. Like I talked about, that they might be thinking that RPA will take away their job, right? So you'll have to understand, comprehend that where exactly is the problem. Is there a problem on the knowledge level? Is there a problem on the responsibility level? And that's how you'll have to move forward. And then maintenance of RPA, because there you will have to have teams involved to support the RPA going forward. And maybe they were not well equipped with what you taught them during the development, and when the actual time came where they were required to take care of the process, you know they were not well versed, and then the automation didn't work, or there were certain areas where this team had to put certain Excel file in a folder, and they were not able to do that. So the bot failed, and the maintenance of RPA became a challenge. So these are certain areas where a BA will be involved, and BA has to deal with these things and counter these things maybe on a daily basis. And that's how you'll have to eventually become smart, become mature in terms of your communication, in terms of your analysis, logical thinking, brainstorming, and that's how you can become a more well-versed BA. I think with that, I would like to end the session here. We are on the top of the hour, but I'm happy to take questions if there are any.
Thank you, Anurag. Also, before we take questions, just a reminder to everybody to make sure that you copy the chat. We've put a lot of really great links in there, links to where you can get your self-paced study courses, links to the forum where you can ask any questions, link to the series page where you'll find the recording for this session and where you can register. So make sure you do that. Are there any questions? I think we've answered quite a few in the chat, Anurag.
Okay, great.
I think with that, I don't see any.
Yes, there is. I have a question.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Abdiel. I'm from Panama. I just have a question. What we can do about the part you were talking about, the when you spoke about the challenge faced by the RPABA regarding the lack of help from business teams, what kind of tips can you provide us to improve this area?
Okay. First of all, I'll tell you one beautiful example if I have time. So we were running a citizen-led development program, and we were identifying 5 folks that who can switch side, who can be a part of automation side. And I've had a very difficult stakeholder who was not giving me sign off. I made him aware that, if you want to build your career in this is a great opportunity. Please utilize this. Spend some time into it. I'll handhold you. I'll support you. So I brought this person on my side, and then when this person understood that he's responsible to run this show, he automatically started supporting me. Right? This is an example. Now, how it can be done, how we can get help from business. Right? First of all, if you think that if it's a enterprise-led initiative, the leaders at the top should be, pitching in, coming in, and making those folks understand that this is important and you have to support. So first way and the best way is to get support from their management to, contribute in moving these things forward, right? But even after that, these people are not supporting. Then you might have to understand what exactly is the problem. Are they afraid of RPA? Are they thinking that this is not, gonna work, or are they not clear how it is meant to be done? So you'll have to maybe ask some direct questions in a more friendly way. Can you help me understand why you are not able to provide the sign off to me, right? Then let the real
Alright.
answer come from them, right? So my experience, has taught me that the more we talk direct with them, the more we understand their problem statement, and we, hit the right chord, things move. But sometimes I have seen, and what mistakes I have done, that, m- copying, mailing them, and just throwing emails does not help, right? So hit the right problem statement which they are facing, and then if some hand holding, some session, some awareness thing is required, spend some time, because that half an hour, 1 hour with them, spending on a very personal, personal note, will help you to eventually, save a lot of time in follow-ups going forward. If they're on your side, I think you're sorted.
All right. Thank you.
Anyone else?
I have a question for Anurag.
Hi.
Uh, may I complete?
Okay, let's go with Amit first.
Yeah. So the question is that in software development lifecycle, like BA role is gather the requirement, and developer's role is to develop the things, and tester things is to test the things. So here in robotic process automation life cycle, that so BA's role is gather the requirement, and developer role is to develop the process. So what would be the role of the tester here, and it would be the similar like the software development life cycle, or would be different?
But see, a lot of time, tester will be a specific role in your COE, where the development team is working and tester is involved to do the testing, right? Some sort of local testing, some sort of UAT. So testing will have their own set of, R&R, and those folks will be responsible to test the code, understand where the bot can break, help the developers with their feedback to improve the bot's performance, right? But in reality, there could be, some organizations, and there are organizations where the developer is the one who is doing testing, right? That person understands the code well. That person understands where the, bot can break. So a lot of time, the test cases which are being built by maybe by the business or maybe by the BA are taken care by the developer only. So a tester may not be there in those projects. But ideally, as a part of a role, a tester is the one who validates whether the code built is correct or not. And this person gives feedback that this is where you can improve your bot code and bot's performance. I hope this helps you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, I think the next one is Devadatta.
Hi Anurag, this is Devadatta here actually. So I have a questions on the monitoring part actually. So I am working as a project manager actually. So I have a BA team along with me. But when it comes to the monitoring, right, I believe the project management team has to be taken care of it. What sort of role the BA team has to be like involved on the monitoring side of it, Anurag?
Monitoring means the support side,
The
production
complete
support.
project HDLC, yeah, complete HDLC, right? When you are doing the implementation to release, right? So what sort of monitoring the BA team will be involved?
So monitoring, so there are two meanings of monitoring. One, monitoring is that keeping an eye on the bot's performance, whether your bot is working
Correct,
fine or not. Generally, that part is
correct.
taken care by the support team, who get
Yeah,
a handover of the process from development team, and then that team has the ownership. In case any bot breaks, they will have to solve and resolve that problem, right? A BA may
yeah,
not be involved at that time because the development team has already built that bot. The BA has already given those documents basis which the development happened, right? And when the KT happens between development team to the production support team, BA can be there to support the transition from development to support team, because BA understand where things can go wrong, right? But BA may not be involved when the support team is functioning or taking care of the tickets or the issues which the bot encountered, right? For that, an operating guide might be there, which was built by a BA, which can be used as a Bible in case any issue comes in, right? So
Yeah.
maybe during the troubleshooting, during the actual issue resolution, BA not be involved, but all the activities where transition is happening, where operating guide creation is happening, the BA plays a very, very important role.
Got it. Thank you, Anurag.
What I understood from that question is also, again, like you mentioned, monitoring are two parts. One is like what you mentioned during the deployment, after deployment, like more over the maintenance kind of it. The other part during the SDLC, right? Let's say when you like we initially mentioned that business analysts are the kind of the architect or the bridge between the client who is giving you the requirement, what we are trying to develop, and the developers are the one who have developed, right? And then there are testers who are testing this one. But at each phases, the business analysts need to ensure that the requirement that they have gathered from the client or the way they have understood the business process, right? The testers are testing what they are supposed to, right? And the developers have developed what you have dictated them, right? So your or the business analysts are so essential in ensuring in validating that the requirements have gone through correctly during the development and the test phase. What if the requirement that you have captured for the process, you have translated that back to the developer and developers are in sync? But what if the testers have created different test cases, right? So those are the areas as a business analyst, you need to ensure that throughout the SDLC, we are developing what we are supposed to. If that what you mentioned by monitoring.
Got it. I got the answer now. Thank you, Atul. Thank you, Anurag. Yeah.
Okay, and I think we have time for one more question. So Akash, you want to ask your question?
And sorry, I mean,
Yeah.
before that, one other important area which I must say that as a business analyst also, you need to ensure that of the training part, right? There are a few other areas during that, the stakeholder training, right? You build something, how to execute that process, right? Your documentation, your change management, those are other areas as a business analyst, you need to ensure that you are telling them, because without, let's say, if we develop such a beautiful product, but if only we know how to run it, right, then it will not serve the purpose. That's where business analyst again will come into picture and making ensure that the stakeholders are in sync and they know what we have built. So those are other crucial areas for the business analyst. You need to make sure that during the monitoring are helping.
Yeah. Go ahead, Akash.
Hey, thanks, team. Hi, Anurag. Hi, team. Myself, Akash Gupta from Pfizer India. I just wanted to ask, I just saw that there is the slide that mentioned that there is a hierarchy which an RPA BA can follow, right? I myself, being a 6-year-old tenure into a tenured BA, working as a tenured BA, I do have looked at multiple projects at Project Lead, worked alongside with the delivery managers as well. Do you foresee that a tenured RPA BA can also transition into a project management or product BA? Because once a BA has looked after a certain amount of projects in terms of for specific verticals, or let's say, for example, I'm into fintech. So within fintech, I've looked after multiple products that the company offers, right? And we are into product offering, not service offerings. So products has been looked after, and we are into specific products, right? So can the transition be foresee for a tenured BA as a product BA? Do you foresee that?
See, primarily what you need in order to move to a different, stage as in project manager or product BA, where your scope of work, is large as compared to what you were doing 2 years back as a BA, right? You're taking ownership, right? You're responsible to run maybe more than one process which you were taking care as a BA. You might have a series of processes under you. So that gives you more scope of work, right? So you become responsible to manage the communication with multiple stakeholders. You understand who's doing what, who is connected to which domain, which part of the department. So your connects are there, which you can leverage. You have built relationship with the stakeholders, right? With that, you can get your work moving. So when you are combining all these skills capabilities and competencies, you are becoming matured to handle bigger roles.
Mm-hmm.
And since as a BA, your day in, day out role will be around communication, documentation, analysis, brainstorming. I think that's what leaders do. And when you are
Right.
trying to make somebody aware that this is the benefit of automation, you are getting into roles where you are actually maybe doing people management, right? So
Mm-hmm.
from an individual contributor role to a role where you are managing a team, I think when you are connected and talking to so many people, this skill will automatically come there. And then when it is, when it is sprinkled with your knowledge of domain, your connects, your relationship,
Mm-hmm.
I think you're all set and all ready to become a project manager or a product manager.
And just to little bit add on that, what Anurag mentioned, strongly believe that. I mean, in fact, the business analyst has the foundational competencies that aligns with the product business analyst or the product manager. They are right aligned there. Like Anurag mentioned, the most important thing is your brain, like, I mean, your mindset, how you are becoming that, right? And on top of that, definitely when it comes to products, you need specific skills related to that project. That is the most important key, right? Because product, without the product knowledge, domain knowledge, you may miss the mark, right? So with the right mindset, with the right product skills specific, all you need to do is expand your leadership skills, like Anurag mentioned,
Right.
build your product knowledge and get that management experience. That's where you can rightly fit into any management role or a product manager role, with those couple of things if you have in your arsenal.
Great.
Thank you so much, team. Really appreciate that.
All right. So that concludes our session today. Again, make sure you guys grabbed all the notes in the chat. And we will see you on Wednesday. Thank you so much for joining us today.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Please take
Thank
care.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Anurag and
Thank
Atul.
you.
Mhm.
Okay, have a good day.